morning, everyone, and welcome into my kitchen. I'm Sherry Shrallow, and this is my plant-based kitchen. Today, I'm not going to be really cooking, but I want to talk to you about something that's dear to my heart that I've been involved in now for the last 18 months. I started the Vegan Volunteer Corps 18 months ago, and I'll tell you a little bit about my story and how I got to the place where I thought it was important to give back to our community. 11 years ago, I had a near-fatal heart attack which required immediate bypass surgery. I was a very healthy and fit 56-year-old woman, or so I thought, until that day when my world came crashing in. I had been eating what I thought was a pretty healthy diet, the Mediterranean style diet. Very little meat because my husband Dale had given up red meat years and years before, I bet 20 years before. So we tried to eat pretty healthy, but this still happened to me. So I was very fortunate that I survived the bypass surgery and the fact that my aorta had been torn when they had done a catheterization of my heart to see what was happening. So they had to repair my aorta because I had that aneurysm there, and it's now okay. It was a very, very traumatic period of my life, being so young at 56 and almost dying that day. But you know, sometimes good things come from things that you can't even imagine would turn into good things. So I had to educate myself because unfortunately at that time the medical community was not very aware of how to help people prevent and reverse heart disease. So I became my own investigator. My sister, who was a nurse practitioner at the Cleveland Clinic at that time, told me about a study and a book written by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, who worked at the Cleveland Clinic. He was a surgeon, but he turned his interest into prevention of disease, and he focused on heart disease. And I learned by reading that book and further studies that, yes, I don't have to have this happen to me again. So I changed over to a whole food, plant-based diet with my husband Dale, who was nothing but cooperative and happy to be on this journey with me. And we've done this for 11 years now. I no longer have heart disease. My bypassed artery that was providing oxygen and nutrients to my heart is no longer needed. It was fired, and my right coronary artery that was damaged and full of the 99% blockage is now open and providing my heart what it needs. So that's what brings me to this current day. 18 months ago, I decided that I wanted to be part of an organization that gave back to their community. So I had this thought in my mind for years. Why don't we form a group, get people together who want to help others eat this way? And what better place can you go to than to a homeless shelter in a large metropolitan area? So I simply called around all over Chicago until I found the Lincoln Park Community Services Center, which houses 48 people at a time at one site and about 35 at a second site. So we focused on the larger site, which now has 48 residents, and once a month we started out with 10 volunteers in this Vegan Volunteer Corps, just 10 of us, and we cooked a lovely meal. I think we made plant-based mac and cheese, baked beans, salads, vegetables, fruits, and a little dessert. And I took it all down to the shelter, and that was our first meal at the shelter. We have been doing this monthly for the past 18 months, and today is a very special day for VVC because we're honoring our volunteers. We have 40 volunteers now, and my husband at my side has been helping me do this for 18 months, and we do it with joy, and we enjoy ourselves with the residents when we go down and serve this wonderful whole food, healthy, plant-based meal to them. Not only are they getting a great meal, but they're learning about the benefits of eating this way, to the point where we are now able to offer cooking classes at the shelter, because this is a transitional place for these wonderful people that are there right now. They're going to be back on their own, living on their own in an apartment. We want to help them figure out how they can make foods like this on a real tight budget. So that will be the goal of our cooking classes, and as we continue to do our work every month. It's a little thing in the world to feed 48 people a month, but think about this. If everyone listening in today took this message to heart and did something like this in your own community, imagine what a ripple effect this would have across the world. You would be helping people, you would feel wonderful doing it because it's pure joy to be providing these meals. You will meet wonderful people. I just adore our volunteers. We could not do this without them. We have so many volunteers now that sometimes we don't even need all of them to cook each month. I mean, it's just an amazing thing, and it grew so quickly. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of our wonderful VBC volunteers. Thank you to Lincoln Park Community Services for allowing us to come in and provide this food to the residents, and for us to develop relationships with those that are living through a very difficult time of their life, and we are able to share it with them. And thank you, thank you. So have a wonderful day. We're going to have a big picnic here today. That's why I made these beautiful kebabs. We're all bringing food. We're going to gather in our backyard today and celebrate 18 months of VBC and our wonderful volunteers. Take care, everyone. And I'll be cooking next time in my kitchen. So long. Bye-bye.